العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Inshallah, we will start with verse 16 in Surah Al-Baqarah, and we will start with the recitation. So we'll start with the recitation of verses 16, 17, and 18, and we'll discuss them. If we have more time, then we can do more, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون. Hello.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون.
الله أكبر.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك الذين اشتروا وضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما
أضاءت.
Oh, please say again.
أضاءت
ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون. صدق الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون.
MashaAllah.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Let me recite it myself.
Yeah.
أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون.
So there is one question.
Sure.
You pronounced Nara'an.
Naran.
Nara'an you said.
No.
Okay, my mistakes.
Naran falamma.
That's okay.
Naran falamma.
Okay, my mistake.
So the general meaning is that those are, ulaika means those, are the ones who bought. Ishtaraw means they bought. Al-dalala, going astray, bil-huda. So it is like someone who is doing a deal, but in this deal he received dalala, he received going astray, and he paid guidance. So he did not, the Prophet ﷺ brought guidance to them. So it is as if that they took that guidance, gave it to the shaitan, and instead of guidance they got back the dalala, the being astray. فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُم. Of course, this is a non-profitable deal. فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُم وَمَا كَانُوا مُهْتَدِينَ, and they were not guided. So, اشتروا comes from
Mushtari.
shara. The root is shara, and ishtara is bought. Yashtari is buying. So they bought ad-dalala. Ad-dalala comes from dalla. In the Quran, you will find this very often. Dalla sabil. He strayed away from the straight path.
So zil and zal, it's just
This is, we need to be very careful about this. Dad in Arabic is very important, and it is different from dha, and especially in Surah Al-Fatih. Very often people make the mistake of saying az-zalleen, and that really destroys the whole thing. And the Fatha is a very important part of the prayer. We need to pray. You don't need to pray surah in the prayer. You only need to pray Fatha. Surah is sunnah, Fatha is fard.
La salat illa bi Fatiha.
Right. So you have to pray Fatha, and you have to pronounce it right. Dad is like in Dalla. You cannot say it's Zalla, because Zalla has a completely different meaning. Zalla means continue to do something. So, اشتروا الضلالة, they bought falsehood, or they bought going astray, بالهدى, with the ba before al-huda means with. So they bartered guidance for falsehood or for going astray. فَمَا رَبِحَتْ, so their deal did not win. Their deal was not profitable. رَبِحَ means he profited. رَبِحَتْ because the deal is feminine, So it has to have ta at the end. رابحة. تجارتهم. Tijara is business, you know, where you have tijara.
I know that it's also tijara.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, tijarat.
وما كانوا معتدين, and they remained unguided. Right? Any question?
There's a comment, ashtara, you know, in Urdu we use mushtari or sharbas when we are, you know, saying the buyer be aware. So these are kind of airs there. So if you look at the words, you can usually find some kind of connection, then you can make the meaning out of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mushtari means a buyer.
Buyer, yeah.
Buyer, okay.
Okay. مثلهم, their example. مثل means example. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نار. Their example is the example of a person who lit a fire. استوقد means lit. استوقد comes from أوقد or وقود. Fuel is waqud. So استوقد means he had something to
وقودها الناس والحجارة.
وقودها الناس والحجارة. You know, Jahannam,
Yeah.
hellfire, the fuel of hellfire
Yeah.
is people
Stone
and stones. So استوقد نارا, he lit a fire. Nar, as we know, means fire.
Fire.
فلما here means, and when it illuminated what is around him. أضاءت comes from light.
ضياء.
ضياء or ضوء. You say ضوء النهار أو ضوء you know, or ضوء الشمس, the light of the sun. فلما أضاءت, when it illuminated ما حوله. حوله is the what is around him. And here is ma. My brother last time was asking what's the meaning of ma. This is a ma here. It's not. It doesn't mean negation. It means what is around him. So ma here is around what.
Encompassing.
Yeah. What is around? حوله is encompassing, but ma is what is around him. فلما أضاءت ما حوله, when it illuminated what is around him, ذهب الله بنورهم. ذهب means went.
Distinguish.
Not
Not
the literal meaning of ذهب
is that, yeah.
is went.
Gone.
You know, you say أنا أذهب means I go, or أنا ذهبت, I went. It comes here ذهب الله. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The meaning is took away their light. So as if the light can walk and go away. ذهب الله بنورهم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took their light from them. ذهب الله بنورهم. Nur is like ضوء. But you see, these are the subtle differences in the.
Nur and Zaya.
Pardon me?
Difference between Nur and Zaya, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, Nur has a connection, is that when you have Nur, there is more than it is illuminating. It is like for example, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about people in paradise, He says they have Nur. Their faces has Nur. Meaning that it's not only light, but there is more than this. There is spirituality about it. Here, the guidance is nur. When we talk about guidance in the Quran, we describe it as nur. We don't describe it as daw. Daw is something that makes things illuminated, but doesn't have anything more than that. It is difficult to explain, but do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is there anything to do with reflection as well? Like one has its own source and the other one is a reflection of the light source? Like the sun is Ziya.
Yes.
And the moon is Nur.
Yes. That's right.
So Ziya has.
So, but here this is not, you know.
Here it's
but although, you know, Nur is something really rich, something valuable, something more spiritual. Knowledge is Nur, guidance is Nur. But Ada'a is just an artificial thing, just something that you lit so that you can walk around Nur. So when they had the fire is simply a means to see. So it becomes Diya or Ada. But when he's talking about taking the guidance from them, because they refused the guidance, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the guidance from them. So it talks about Nur. وَتَرَكَهُمْ فِي ظُلُمَاتٍ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. So and he left them in darkness, so they do not see. And again, there is a difference between yara and yubsir. It is the same analogy between diya and nur. Yara simply sees, but yubsir is something else. Yubsir is insight, or could be insight. It is not. It could include that meaning. But yara is simply you see something, but you don't know really what it is. Yubsir when you understand what this is. So when zulumat here, darkness is the example of disbelief. They rejected guidance, so they remained in darkness. Zulumat. And the word zulumat is the root is zalama. So, and zalama, you maybe this is in order to zalama he committed injustice.
Misplacing something when it's not in its own place.
Yeah. So zulm is injustice. So zulumat is, az-zulm and the zulumat are injustice. So they do not see. Then it is elaborating on this. They do not only see, summun, they do not listen. Bukmun, they cannot speak. Umyun, they cannot see. فَهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ, they cannot find their way back to the guidance. Yes.
Could you please repeat summan?
Summun.
Summun, listening?
Summun means,
listening. Bukkum?
Bukmun means they cannot speak.
They cannot speak.
So they are deaf, mute, and blind.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. The mushaf you have, there are signs for elongation. When you have this mad, right? And there are two types of mad. The mad can happen in one word, like the word ma. Ma yani, what's ma?
Water.
Water. Ma we have an alif, mim, alif, and then the hamza, right?
Watch it, watch it.
Right? So alif is one of the letters of mad. We said that the letters of mad are the alif, the waw, and the ya. These are the letters that we make mad. And the mad happens, one of the cases of mad is when there is hamza that follows the alif or waw or ya. So, but this is happening, the alif and the hamza are happening in one word. Sometimes it happens in two words. You know, the first word ends with a letter of mad, and the second word, like here, for example, فَلَمَّا أَضَاءَتْ. Hamza is in the second word. We call this mad muttasil. Muttasil means join, means it's one word. This one is munfasil, means that it happens in two words. There are two ways of doing this. There is one way is that you observe the mad al-muttasil, but you do not observe the mad al-munfasil. This is acceptable. So here, فَلَمَّا أَضَاءَتْ. Right? This is important. You have to do this. Ma, sama, this is obligatory. But this is by choice. There are two ways of doing it. You can either make the mad or you do not make the mad. So if you listen to me and I don't make, and that's the way I do it, is that I don't make the mad the munfasil, so don't say that I am wrong. Okay, this is simply two different ways. For you, because it is shown in the mushaf, then follow what is in the mushaf. Okay, but I'm sorry for the distinction. I wanted to explain why I'm doing this. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions? All right. So that's one. Naran, here there is tanween and it is followed by fa. So the noon here is ikhfa. Ikhfa means you don't pronounce the noon. Only naran falamma. You hear the ghunna, but you don't hear the noon. So that's ikhfa. ظلمات الله. Here it is tanween is followed by lam. So this is idgham without ghunna. أضاء ظلمات لا يبصر. What else? صم بكم. This is another rule for noon or tanween. It's called iqlab, means turning over. In this,
Well, watch out for the wire. Yeah. Be careful.
here we have tanween, right? And it's followed by ba. So the rule here is that you change the noon into meme. Summum bukum.
So that's why in my aspa there's a small meme written on top of that.
Exactly. So that's called iqlab. Iqlab means turning over. So it is, you turn the noon into meme. Right? So anytime you have ba that follows the tanween or noon sakin, then it becomes meme with ghunna. Summum bukum. Okay? So maybe you wanna
I will recite again because I made so many mistakes.
you?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون صدق الله العظيم.
ما شاء الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أولئك الذين
أولئك الذين اشتروا
أولئك الذين اشتروا
don't separate.
Okay.
الذين اشتروا
الذين اشتروا
الضلالة
بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كما مثل الذين
مثلهم
كمثل
الذي استوقد
نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم
عمي صم بكم
عمي فهم لا يرجعون.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك الذين اشتروا ضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما
أضاءت أضاءت.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. So the way you pronounce, I listen like you are saying the.
Yes. Do.
Zo.
Not the. Do.
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 Okay.
दाल को मोटा करना है, दाल को मोटा करो, दो कर देंगे तो।
Okay. Mahulahu zahaballahu binurihim wa tarakahum fi zulumatin la yubsirun summum bukmun umyun fahum la yarji'un.
It's interesting here.
Yeah.
You see what?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. I got confused on 2 spots.
Yeah. Okay.
Or over here, and over here as well.
See, this is dad, and this is dha.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and we have to be very careful about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Because dha appears in Surah Al-Fatiha, وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ,
Okay.
and we have to be careful not to say وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So dad is different from dha. Right?
Yeah.
What's the other one?
The fourth one. The fourth. أولئك الذين اشتروا.
اشتروا الضلالة.
Yeah.
Dad here, like dad here. الضلالة.
Okay. So I was pronouncing Zalala.
No,
Yeah, which is wrong.
that's right.
Yeah, which is wrong.
Yes,
In Pakistan, there are 2 big school of thoughts. They
Yes.
argue on the same point.
yes.
One say wala dhalin, others say wala dhalin. But majority they are with the wala dhalin. Dha is special word. Arabic people they proud of this word. This is the only word for this rather than in the Arabic word.
Yeah.
We are people of dha.
Exactly.
Dha.
The thing is, the confusion arises because the Urdu alphabet,
Yeah.
God is pronounced as God.
Yes.
So
that's
that's where it's confusing.
No, it
because
is-
it's a different language.
I'm sorry for that. That's
no,
cool.
that's fine.
But dha is wrong.
Wrong.
It is
Okay.
You have to use dad.
Especially in that area.
Yeah.
So
Dad is very important.